Little tutorial. I'm going to talk about the YoloBox Live, and the reason I'm doing this tutorial is there are a lot of lovely tutorials out there which give you a great idea on how everything works, but how does it work from a musician's point of view? If you're a live musician like myself who streams pretty simply, I've got one camera shot, I've got a very low budget, which means I usually stream using OBS on different platforms, on Twitch and on some other platforms, on Facebook every now and then. And I have got a lower end laptop, which is an i5, which kind of holds its own, but you are kind of limited to what you can do. And I've had the opportunity to test this YoloBox Live, which is this guy right here. I don't know if you can see. I'll bring it a bit closer. That's a picture of it mounted on a camera, which is not what I'm doing, quite obviously, but it's like a big cell phone and very easy to use and touch friendly, has a nice feel to it. And compared to streaming with OBS, it's a lot more basic, but there are ways to work around. You need to put on your overlays or your images that you would normally use and put them onto an SD card as a PNG format. And then you can add your overlays. So I could add, there's one of my overlays that I normally use. Let's put another one on there. And we're just adding them on the side of the screen. It gives you the option to just tap the screen and put them on. And there they are. There they appear. And normally I perform on Twitch as Dave Goldberg or the DG Band. And I call myself the Blues Room when I am streaming solo. But let's take that off for now. And very easy to handle. And then on OBS, like, you have scenes that you can switch through, obviously before you're beginning your stream. On this, you don't have scenes. You've got different camera inputs. You've got two HDMI camera inputs, and you've got one USB. I'm using USB, very low budget webcam, kind of a Logitech knockoff. But it seems to work great for me. You know, it's what I could afford, and I haven't felt the need to up my webcam yet, and I haven't had the budget to. And this is what I'm talking about. I have got great keyboards, I've got great sound, and I've got two instruments, two keyboards, a synth and a piano, a synth keyboard of high quality going through a mixing desk. Now the mixing desk is not going through an audio interface. The YOLO Live acts as an encoder for your audio and for your video, and you can run three separate cameras at the same time, two HDMIs and one webcam. So you could have one still shot, and you could have a roaming camera, and you could have a different view, and you could switch them on the screen here. I can see myself, and I could switch, if I switch here to my intro and back to that's where I am live, I was able to set the transition between those two shots. I could have faded it or done a quick flip, or very basic onboard elements that you can use to make the transition look a little bit better. But I had to use a video that I did myself from my SD card and input that as a video input. There it is. And you see the spinning logo, and that's a video. And then the overlays are PNG images. Saying that, back to audio, I found that my initial first two tests were very distorted, and that's because I'm used to running my mixing desk right on the zero, the master volumes. And I had to go into the audio settings here on YoloBox and there's an automatic little button you'll see which you've got to turn off, because I only want my audio coming from my desk. I don't want it coming from cameras or anything. I'm a musician. I want to play music. Yes, I could have a better camera and a better shot, but at the moment this is what I have accessible to me. So I've highlighted the little circle called line in, and I've put the YoloBox line in at 31%, which seems to give me enough output to have a decent sound level for you, the viewer. And my mixing desk, I found when I had it on 0, it was still distorting. You know, it is very sensitive, the YoloBox, to distortion. And the reason being is it's acting as an interface as well as a video encoder. And obviously it has to be sensitive to all forms of inputs from that audio source, which I had to turn the hotness of my desk down and the instruments down a little bit. And to monitor, I'm using headphones, but I've had to turn my control room quite up, because I want to hear some power, I want to hear the piano, I want to hear. At the same time, I don't want you to hear a distorted sound. So my desk is not running very hot as far as the master is concerned. And this might change with the quality of desk that you might have. I've got a simple 6-in analog desk, and I've got the RCA outs running from the desk into the mini jack input into the YOLO. That's my audio. And I'll play a bit so you can see and just get a feel for how it sounds, and you can judge for yourself. It does give me a readout on top of it's almost like a big cell phone. It's telling me how many kilobytes per second is running. It's 28 frames per second. It's telling me no dropped frames, and I've been live for 7 minutes. So if I wanted to, I could expand the screen. I'll go to my overlays, which I'm not putting on too many overlays at the moment. You can see there's a scrolling text at the bottom, which is kind of, you can't change the font. You can make it scroll once and then it lands up at the end of the screen, or you can make it repeatedly scroll, and you can size it, make it bigger or smaller. And when you're looking at your overlays, you get a whole, you can see all your overlays that you've selected. And I can hold that specific overlay, which is my texting name, and I can make it bigger. I can just increase it and then push done. So now you'll see that little text is a little bit bigger, but I couldn't change the font. If I wanted to, I could play a video. I could put another video in, and I could have video in video, where the shot of me could be smaller, and I could be showing you me doing a production on a DAW, but I'm not that advanced, and I'm just doing this as from the aspect of a live musician streaming his music, and not having to worry about processing, and from a low-end computer, not having to worry about crashing, and this is what we're looking at. And yes, I can have a monitor out. I could output the monitor of this so I could see what I'm doing on a bigger monitor. But I'm quite liking the size of this monitor. I can see exactly what I'm doing. If I went to the chat section, there is a chat section. I could see the YouTube chats if I needed to, or the Facebook chats. I'm yet to do a Twitch stream, which I will be doing. And if I wanted, I have the different platforms that I'm streaming to, because you can stream to 4 different platforms, and of course a custom RTMP, where you'd probably have to put the streaming key and the URL you'd have to put on your SD card as a PDF, in order to copy and paste it into the YOLO. But that's all about pre-prep, which is quite easy to do once you get around it. So let's listen to the sound a little, shall we? normally find the piano sound can sometimes sound unclear. Well, there we have it. That's how the piano sounds. Let's pick another instrument and see how that comes through. I mean, I've got a Hammond here. Obviously, my dynamic mic is picking up everything that my hands are doing. And let's have a listen. If you were a musician and you're playing with a track, you know, how is that going to come through? And remember, the YoloBox is, there's no audio interface. It's going straight out from the mixer into the mini jack in to the YOLO. And my desk is running a lot less hotter than I normally would going through an interface to stream via OBS. And let's play a song that I've written with a track. Hey! And all my tears dried away, hoping you'd be back someday. When I was young, I used to say that my tears would take me far away, far away from all this pain. There we have it with a track, and I don't want to carry on. It's not about me. It's just about doing a little tutorial from a musician's point of view, you know, from a simple stream, a simple budget, and what these items cost. I know in South Africa it would probably work out to be about 15,000 Rand retail. So it's a couple of $100, less in euros, and it's kind of would be half the price for me. It would be half the price to purchase this and have an 8-core powerful streaming device than to buy a upgraded gaming computer or a PC or a laptop that is sufficient, you know, to stream, you know, with no crashing and maybe to multi-stream, where this is kind of all in one. And it has a lot more basic features than it would if you were using OBS or Streamlabs, of course. But, you know, for half the price, I mean, I think it's fantastic. You know, if the sound, I'm going to do a stream with the whole band next week, and I'll let you guys know what's happening. And we're going to try the audio quality, and we're going to run 3 different cameras as well. We're going to run an HD camera, and we're going to run the webcam and another HDMI camera, and then we'll really see what production value we can get out of the YoloBox. But as far as I can see, I've toyed with this only for about 2 hours since I received it, and I've managed to do a test on Facebook successfully. Battled with the audio in the beginning because I didn't realize how sensitive the YOLO is. And this is a stream on YouTube, and I think it's quite neat, and it's quite easy to use. I haven't had a problem. I kind of managed to get everything up and running and reset. And when you switch it back on, you finish your stream, you've got to create the stream again. But what was nice, I found my overlays, like this stuff, if I add there, that kind of stayed in the same position from my last stream. So I didn't have to reset everything and move it. Because when you move each overlay, you kind of got to adjust it, and it doesn't give you the option to see all of them at once. You select each one if you want to edit it and then move it to its position. So that was a bit, maybe they'll fix that up somehow, where you can move them while seeing all of them together. But once it was set up, I'm happy to say it remained there. And obviously quality of desk probably would differ, from the sensitivity of the audio, and otherwise very easy to set up, very easy to stream with, and I got the hang of it within the hour without ever seeing it before, and just unboxed it and messed around. I hope this helps. If there's any questions and anything I can help anybody with, please feel free to send some comments, and we're all out there to help each other, and really this is a stream from a musician's point of view. How does it work with playing a track? How does it work with a live band? We shall see. I'm going to do that next week. And how does it work from a sound quality? Do you need an audio interface with it? No, you don't. You can plug your desk straight into it. And it's all about mixing correctly and making sure your levels aren't too hot. I never have to bring my masters down so much. They're kind of at 10 dB. And hopefully there's no distortion on what I did. So thank you very much. If you'd like to subscribe, push the button, push the like, and I shall see you next time with anything that I can help you with. Dave out.